Some connections don't need words. Some feelings don't wait for permission. You may have tried to ignore them, told yourself it's nothing. Yet here you are, feeling it, the pull, the knowing, the quiet certainty that someone out there exists who sees you in ways no one else ever has. You sense it in your chest, in the way your thoughts drift toward them, in the invisible thread that tugs at your soul. And the strange truth is, they feel it too. Even if neither of you speaks, even if distance keeps you apart, your hearts already recognize one another. 3 signs that you both genuinely want each other are rarely loud, obvious, or dramatic. They move quietly beneath the surface where truth usually resides. You sense it long before you can explain it. Even if neither of you ever says it aloud, the knowing is there. Some connections in life don't require proof, explanations, or declarations. Some feelings don't ask permission to exist. Some bonds don't wait for the right moment. When 2 souls silently choose one another, the world may see nothing unusual, but inside everything feels different. The heart recognizes what the mind questions, and that recognition is unmistakable. You feel it in subtle ways that are hard to ignore but easy to doubt. In the quiet pauses, in moments where nothing seems to happen, yet everything feels complete. In the way your body reacts before your thoughts catch up. In the calm and tension that exist simultaneously. This message is for the person who often wonders quietly. Does this person feel what I feel? Am I imagining too much? Is it all just in my mind? No, you are not imagining it. Your heart does not create resonance, it responds to it. What you are sensing is real, rare, and not experienced by everyone. There are strong signs that 2 people can desire each other deeply, intensely, and quietly, even when life makes it difficult to express. Circumstances can interfere, fear can delay action, distance can stretch time. Pride can build walls, yet desire finds a way to communicate. It uses a gentler language, it shows itself in awareness, attention, and effortless presence. It is expressed in restraint as much as in longing. When 2 people want each other but do not act, the feeling does not vanish. It grows stronger, clearer, and more undeniable over time. The first sign is that you feel their energy even when they are not near. This kind of connection does not depend on messages, calls, or constant contact. It exists beyond behavior. You wake up thinking of them naturally. You fall asleep with their presence lingering in your mind. In the middle of a regular day, their face appears suddenly with no logical reason. This is not obsession, it is attunement. The most remarkable part is that they feel it too. Without coordination or communication, your emotional states echo each other. You sense their shifts. You feel their mood without explanation. When something affects them, you feel unsettled without knowing why. When they are calm, something inside you softens. This is not coincidence, it is emotional resonance. 2 people tuned to the same frequency do not need constant proof. Their connection exists beneath words. Silence does not weaken it. Time does not erase it. Distance does not disconnect it. If anything, these factors make the feeling even clearer. False feelings fade when ignored, while real connections grow quieter but stronger. If you feel this consistently, gently, and unmistakably, then your heart is responding to someone who is responding back, even if neither of you has spoken. When someone's emotions affect you deeply, it is not by accident. When they feel sadness, a heaviness settles into your chest, as if carrying a part of their burden. When stress clouds their mind, your thoughts spin, restless and uneasy. When they think of you or remember you, it feels like a gentle tug at your heart. It is subtle yet undeniable. This does not happen with everyone. It occurs only when souls are quietly, unspokenly connected. When inner alignment brings them into your awareness in ways that feel destined, you notice their name in random places, See reminders in songs, in faces, and in passing moments. It is never truly a coincidence. Life itself seems to whisper. Pay attention to this connection. The feelings are not fleeting, they persist, grow and echo. Your moods begin to reflect theirs. Moments of joy in their life bring warmth to your chest. Their unease unsettles you without explanation. Even small memories of them can spark nervous anticipation, a thrill, or quiet tension. It is an invisible bond, a tether that cannot be measured or touched, but whose presence is deeply felt. If you consistently sense their energy, if they appear in your mind easily, it is not obsession or fantasy. It is a real, living connection between two hearts, silently and continuously responding to one another. That is the first sign. The second sign is even subtler but more revealing, the struggle to hide feelings. When two people truly desire each other, words are often unnecessary, but actions reveal the truth. Every glance, every gesture, every pause communicates far more than spoken words. Ironically, both of you try to hide it, yet fail. Eye contact lingers too long. Pauses occur where a brief glance should suffice. A shy withdrawal replaces the courage to speak. Your lips may hesitate, but your eyes never lie. Small unconscious gestures, touching your hair, adjusting clothing, fidgeting, or changing your breathing, speak louder than any carefully chosen words. You notice the rhythm of each other's reactions. Around others, everything appears normal, but when near each other, subtle changes emerge. You smile with uncertainty. Sometimes you speak a little too fast, other times a little too slow. Your body language shifts without your awareness. Every small movement conveys attraction. Every nervous habit becomes a subtle confession. Both of you wish to show kindness, affection, interest, or love, yet both hold back, not because the feelings aren't there, but because the depth of emotion feels too powerful to risk. Silence becomes the unspoken language of your connection, a mutual understanding that words could never capture. Even when trying to appear indifferent, the heart always reveals the truth, and it is unmistakable. When two souls are drawn to each other, the effort to hide it always fails. Your connection expresses itself in ways that cannot be taught or faked. The signs are visible in quiet moments, nervous gestures, and the mirroring of emotions. There is no need to explain or prove it. The body and heart have already conveyed the story perfectly. Even without words, across distance or time, your desire and theirs resonate, unmistakable and unbreakable. You start noticing the smallest details about each other, the ones most people would miss entirely. The subtle change in their voice when they are tired. The pause before they respond when something is on their mind. You sense shifts in their energy before they speak. You read between the lines effortlessly, detecting hesitation, excitement, disappointment, or nervousness without a single word. This heightened awareness isn't accidental or casual. It goes far beyond friendship. It is emotional attunement, the kind that arises only when two hearts focus deeply on each other, listening beneath words, responding beneath logic, understanding without effort. Both of you may try to create distance, believing it will make things easier. You tell yourself it's time to move on, to let go, to stop thinking about them. They do the same, distracting themselves, staying busy, filling their time. Yet something always pulls you back together. A song plays unexpectedly. A memory surfaces out of nowhere. A dream feels too vivid to ignore. There's a quiet fear of losing each other completely and an unspoken wish to hold on. You push away, but you circle back. You distance yourselves, yet the feeling of missing each other returns even stronger. You pretend indifference, but deep inside, the truth never changes. You act as though you don't care, yet your heart refuses to cooperate with that story. Every attempt to deny the feeling only proves its strength. You may avoid conversations, reduce contact, or convince yourself it's better this way. Yet the emotional thread never breaks. It stretches, but it doesn't snap. Sometimes you feel their absence more than their presence. That's because what you share exists beneath surface behavior. This is the second sign, the kind of hidden love that refuses to stay hidden. No matter how hard you try to suppress it, it continues to reveal itself through longing, awareness, and the inability to fully let go. The third sign is the strongest and the hardest to explain. There's an undeniable sense that you are meant for each other, not because of fantasy or obsession, but because something deep inside already knows. This isn't simple chemistry or attraction. It's a quiet certainty, a soul-level recognition that this person matters in ways others don't. You don't need reasons or guarantees. The knowing exists on its own. Every conversation feels effortless. Time disappears when you talk. Minutes feel like seconds. Silence feels natural, not awkward. You don't perform or pretend. You simply exist as yourself, and so do they, with them. You feel safe in ways you didn't know you needed, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Your heart feels calmer around them. You feel seen without explanation, understood without defense, appreciated without conditions. There's a sense that they understand parts of you no one else ever has. Somewhere deep down, you know they feel that same recognition with you. Your souls communicate quietly. Sometimes a single glance carries more meaning than 1,000 words. Sometimes looking into their eyes feels like being gently exposed, vulnerable but accepted. This isn't ordinary attraction. It's a connection that reaches beyond logic. You imagine a future with them without consciously planning it. They appear naturally in your thoughts when you think about happiness, peace, or fulfillment. You wonder what life would feel like with them, not as fantasy, but as longing. And even if they never say it, they do the same. In quiet moments at night, when the world slows down and distractions fade, their thoughts return to you. When life feels heavy and the future uncertain, your presence appears in their heart unexpectedly yet sincerely. You may not witness it, but it happens. The connection doesn't need witnesses to exist. Both of you feel it. Even now, something between you isn't finished. Even if you're apart, even if communication is rare, even if timing feels wrong or life feels complicated, the feeling remains unchanged. The story hasn't reached its ending. Something is still waiting to unfold. There's a sense that paths will cross again. That meaning hasn't been fully revealed yet. This is the third sign, the spiritual attraction that feels like destiny rather than choice. This person isn't just another chapter. They are someone your soul recognizes, someone written deeper into your story. And this is the final message for you. If you feel these signs within yourself, if your heart reacts when you hear their name, if your soul responds in ways you can't logically explain, then listen carefully. They feel it too. They think of you. They want you in the same quiet, restrained way. Even if they stay silent, act normal, or hide it behind distance or composure, the heart always reveals the truth. What exists between you is real. Real connections never vanish. They simply wait. Sometimes the greatest love stories don't start with grand declarations, dramatic gestures, or public confessions. They begin in silence, in the quiet moments when two people feel something too profound for words. There is a subtle yet undeniable pull that draws you toward each other, even when neither dares to speak it aloud. The truth doesn't wait for announcements or permission. It appears in small, unmistakable ways, in lingering glances, in a shared energy that feels alive even in absence, in the subtle rhythm of thoughts that seem to find one another. This is not imagination. It is real. They feel it. Your souls on a level beyond understanding feel it too. These are not ordinary feelings. They cannot be explained simply by attraction, convenience, or habit. They are deeper, woven into the fabric of your being. Some bonds are never formed by choice. They are formed by something far greater. They are the kind of connections that destiny orchestrates. No timing, distance, or hesitation can erase it. You may question it, overthink it, or try to rationalize it away, but the heart and soul already know the truth. That is why you notice it in every small detail, why their presence lingers in your thoughts, why life seems to nudge you toward recognition. This connection exists even when it feels impossible or improbable. What you are feeling now is one of those rare, destined connections that cannot be forced or manufactured. It moves quietly yet powerfully beneath the surface of everyday life. It grows in the moments between words, in the pauses, in the silences, and in the subtle exchanges only you can sense. Even when life seems to pull you apart, even when you are unsure of what the other person thinks or feels, this connection remains unwavering. It is a thread that cannot be broken, a presence that cannot be ignored. Your souls recognize each other in ways that are timeless and unexplainable. Destined connections carry a sense of inevitability. You may try to hide it, avoid it, or convince yourself it's nothing, but the pull never truly fades. It is gentle, persistent, and insistent. Every glance, thought, and heartbeat reminds you that something extraordinary exists between you. It is a quiet knowing that surpasses logic, a recognition that the bond itself is meant to be. This is why you feel it so deeply, why you notice the smallest shifts in energy, and why moments of closeness, even brief or accidental, feel charged with meaning. It is destiny quietly at work, shaping a story only you can fully understand. What you feel now is not fleeting. It is not a passing infatuation or a temporary attraction. It is something far deeper, rare, and timeless. It is a connection that echoes across time and space, a signal from the universe that you have found someone who matters in a way beyond explanation. When two souls meet like this, words often become unnecessary because the truth is already written in your heart. You do not need to question it. You do not need to doubt it. You simply feel it, and in feeling it, you know that what exists between you is real, meaningful, and destined. Love that exists quietly, invisibly, and without words is one of the most profound experiences a human heart can have. This connection does not require loud confessions, grand gestures, or constant reassurances. It moves beneath the surface, weaving itself into your thoughts, emotions, and instincts. You notice it in the way your chest tightens when they appear in your mind, in the subtle shifts in energy when they are near, and in the invisible thread pulling you toward them, even when distance, time, or circumstances insist that you stay apart. This love does not depend on choice. It depends on recognition, a silent knowing that something extraordinary exists between you. When two people feel this way about each other, it is as if their hearts are speaking a language that neither mind nor words can fully capture. You notice subtle changes in each other's energy. You feel sadness when they are sad, lightness when they are happy, tension when they are unsure. These sensations are not coincidences. They are the echo of one soul recognizing another. Thoughts of them appear unbidden, small reminders in dreams or passing moments that feel bigger than life. The mind may try to rationalize or dismiss it, but the body, heart, and soul never lie. They respond naturally to this presence because it is real, rare, and unavoidable. Even when both of you attempt to hide your feelings, to play it safe, or to keep distance, the connection asserts itself. You may avoid eye contact, yet your eyes reveal your longing. You may pretend indifference, yet small gestures, nervous movements, and the way you breathe or smile around each other show the truth. The pull is mutual. Both of you are tuned to the same invisible frequency, responding to one another without conscious effort. This is not obsession, it is recognition. It is desire expressed in silence, in pauses, in lingering looks, in gestures too subtle for the world to notice, but impossible for the two of you to ignore. The most remarkable aspect of this love is that it does not need constant presence to exist. You feel them even when they are far away, across time zones or days without contact. Their energy lingers like an imprint on your heart. You notice it in patterns appearing in daily life or in fleeting memories arriving at just the right moment. Even when you try to distract yourself, the bond draws your attention back again and again. It is a quiet insistence of the soul, a reminder that some connections are too profound to ignore or forget. The mind may resist, but the heart and soul will always remember. There is also a sense of inevitability to this love. Time feels different when you are together, even in thought. Minutes stretch into hours or collapse into seconds. Conversations flow effortlessly. Silence feels comfortable, not awkward. You don't need to perform or pretend because both of you already understand the depth of the connection. There is safety here, not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Your heart feels calmer, more complete. You feel seen in ways no one else has recognized, and they feel the same about you even if it remains unspoken. The soul knows the truth even when words fail. This connection encourages reflection and imagination. You picture a future not as fantasy, but as a real possibility. Happiness in your thoughts often includes them. You wonder what life would be like with them, not out of obsession, but out of longing and recognition. Even when apart, this connection never fades. In quiet moments before sleep, when life feels heavy, your thoughts may return to them, and they do the same. It is not a coincidence, it is destiny quietly guiding your awareness, reminding you that the story between you is ongoing, unfinished, and meaningful. Your hearts and souls engage in a dialogue the world cannot see, yet it feels profoundly real. What you feel in these moments is rare and extraordinary. It is not superficial attraction, fleeting infatuation, or convenience. It is the soul recognizing another soul, the heart acknowledging a presence it cannot let go of, and the quiet power of fate aligning two lives in ways that surpass logic and circumstance. Even when silence dominates, even when outward appearances suggest nothing is happening, the truth persists in energy, awareness, and feeling. What you are experiencing is deep, spiritual, and significant. It is a bond that refuses to be ignored, calls for recognition, and continues to exist without words, declarations, or explanations. This kind of love carries a profound sense of knowing. It exists beyond the ordinary confines of logic and reason, something your heart recognizes even when your mind cannot explain it. You begin to notice patterns in their behavior, subtle signals in the way they move, the rhythm of their breathing, the tone of their voice, and the way their eyes shift when they think no one is watching. These small details, invisible to others, become vivid markers of connection for you. You sense joy in their happiness, anxiety in their stress, and comfort when they are calm. It is as if your emotions are quietly entwined. Your souls respond to one another, invisible threads pulsing with life. The connection becomes impossible to ignore because it shapes the way you experience life. Ordinary moments take on deeper meaning, and seemingly simple events suddenly feel significant because they remind you of this person. A song on the radio, a fleeting image in a crowd, a memory from the past, all serve as subtle reminders that the bond exists and remains alive. Your thoughts naturally drift toward them, and even the smallest gestures or hearing their name can evoke a strong emotional response. You begin to understand that this connection is not limited to physical presence. It exists in thought, feeling, and energy, effortlessly bridging space and time. Even when you try to push the feeling away, your heart resists. You may keep busy, distract yourself, or convince yourself to ignore these sensations. Yet the pull remains persistent, gentle, and insistent, reminding you that something significant is unfolding between you. The more you resist, the clearer it becomes that this is not a passing fancy, but a profound bond residing deep within your soul. You feel drawn to them in ways that are subtle yet undeniable. It is a magnetic force that goes beyond choice, showing that the heart and soul recognize connections the mind cannot fully grasp. Over time, the unspoken understanding between you deepens. Silence feels natural because it carries as much meaning as words ever could. A glance alone can convey affection, longing, or understanding. There is no need to explain feelings, justify emotions, or articulate what is already known. Trust develops organically, not from promises, but from recognition, seeing each other in ways no one else can, understanding the unspoken language of shared longing and emotional resonance. This is a rare kind of intimacy, one that allows you to feel completely exposed yet fully understood at the same time. As the connection grows stronger, you begin to envision a life that naturally includes this person. Thoughts of the future automatically include them, and you wonder what joy, comfort, or peace might feel like with them by your side. Even in their absence, they remain present in your mind and heart. The bond does not weaken. Instead, it grows stronger as you notice small reminders in everyday life. This connection is patient, enduring, and quiet, showing you that love does not always need words to exist. It lives in the feeling, the awareness, and the subtle energy that both of you continuously exchange. You begin to recognize that these moments of silent connection are signs of something deeper, something that surpasses physical attraction or temporary infatuation. This is a bond written into the very fabric of your being, a resonance that neither distance, timing, nor circumstance can diminish. Every fleeting glance, every accidental touch, every memory and every thought becomes evidence that the heart and soul have found a mutual recognition that goes beyond the surface. You may not be able to explain it logically, but the feeling is undeniable. The depth of this connection leaves an imprint on your soul, one that endures, evolves, and quietly insists on acknowledgement. This connection grows more profound as you live with it, subtly influencing how you see the world and yourself. Ordinary experiences begin carrying an extra weight of meaning because they remind you of them or feel somehow connected to their presence. You notice patterns you never saw before, coincidences that feel like messages, and moments that seem guided by fate rather than chance. A memory might surface unexpectedly, or a passing stranger might resemble them just enough to make your heart skip. These are not accidents. They are subtle signals that the connection exists, persistent and undeniable, threading your lives together even when distance or circumstance keeps you apart.